Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak that's set to release on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC on June 30th. And today we have something cool to check out, and that's the fact that we have another brand new character introduction being added into the game, and interestingly enough, it's a character that's simply not been showcased anywhere else up until this point in time. And that I do find extremely interesting, only because usually whenever you have key pivotal story characters making an appearance into the game, usually Capcom is very good at showcasing them in the trailers, maybe just throwing them in a scene here and there. But up until now, this character had not been mentioned at all. And it turns out when you kind of start put it into perspective, this is kind of like a pivotal character when it comes to the story. And that's the fact that we have an official introduction for Master Arlo, one of the characters that are going to be available in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Now, the details are coming to us directly from director Suzuki, the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak director for the game. He took to Twitter on both the Japanese and North American Twitter accounts to provide us with some details and an official render for the character, which you should be able to see on screen right now. But more importantly, the descriptions for each one, both Japanese and English, are a little bit different. I've covered this in the past, they sometimes vary, so we're going to be going over both of them. First and foremost, the Japanese one reads as follows. It says, "I'm Suzuki, the director. A leader of hunting techniques at the observation base Elgato, Arlo, the instructor, is ready to fight at any competitive time. Fiorane and her sister Rondine have also been thought by this master of the gunlance, who's apparently also researching whether there's a cooldown effect can be found in the Hellcutter ability that can also be enhanced." And then taking a quicker look at the North American Twitter post, it reads as follows. "This is the Elgato's post hunting tactics instructor and arena quest handler, Master Arlo. Fiorane and her sister Rondine have also trained under his guidance. A master of the gunlance, he's researching ways to improve the Hellcutter's cooldown effect," from director Suzuki of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. So of course there's similar comments at the end of the day, but they're a little bit different. And ultimately what we do take away from this is that Master Arlo is in fact the Master Utsushi replacement, basically, of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. He's going to have the same job that Master Utsushi had back in Komura Village in Monster Hunter Rise. Basically, you're going to be dealing with any arena-related quests and events. When you're in Elgato, you're going to have to go through him. And more importantly, whenever you're trying to learn brand new hunting tactics, meaning like silkbind attacks or anything along those lines that are tied specifically to your weapon, you're going to have to speak to him to sort those out, whichever ones you want to set out for your weapon. 1 silkbind, 2 silkbinds, those kind of things. So this character specifically, and they're also like talking about he's a gunlance master, and he's going to try to learn a new technique and stuff like that for the gunlance, which is all well and good. But more importantly, if you have to put it in context, the reason why I brought it up in the beginning that he's pivotal to the story is because if you remember the story in Monster Hunter Rise, basically Master Utsushi plays a rather hefty role in the story when you really compare it to kind of like every other character. So you have the Komura Village chief, and you have the 2 sisters, and then you have Utsushi. Those are the 4 key pivotal characters in the story, aside from the hunter himself or herself. So Master Utsushi is not only tasked with kind of like helping you, the hunter, you becoming the ace that he keeps referring to, but also he's part of like the entire search party for Narwa when she's originally taken down, and he's kind of like in charge of like the basic hunters of the village, which you don't necessarily get to see. Not also that, whenever they speak about the guild, he's also like got ties with the guild as well. So this is like a role that is now going to be supplanted by Master Arlo. So this is going to be one of those things where like this person is going to be playing some interesting role to the story. We don't necessarily know if they're going to be as invested as Master Utsushi, but at the end of the day, they should be playing kind of like a pivotal role in the story. And, we'll just have to wait and see how it cuts out. This is also further supported by the fact that the official game's website was also updated as well. So not only some of the renders, the in-game pictures or images, screenshots, if you will, that you are seeing rotate through like the images on the video right now, but there's also a brand new character description for him as well. And it reads as follows. "A man who trains for the Knights of the Royal Order. He can be a little coarse and works his students extremely hard. but he's big-hearted and caring father figure who has everyone's respect. Admiral Gallius has been a friend of his since childhood, and despite their very contrasting personalities, they get along very well. So now we have an official actual description from Master Arlo from the descriptions in the official website as well. We also got, of course, the two, not just screenshots from in-game, but we also have the official render as well listed there as well. And, you know, it's just further proof that this character, while not necessarily being part of the Royal Knights, he's certainly one of like the biggest important characters in whatever story role they are going to be filling out. And we know that the Royal Knights are certainly going to be playing a hefty role when it comes to specifically you, the hunter, having to deal with the three lords and having to figure out how the hell to deal with Malzeno, which seems to be becoming more and more of a menace the more we find out story-wise that Malzeno and the three lords themselves are kind of like a real big problem at the end of the day, that Elgato, and specifically this nation, yet unnamed nation, has been dealing with some sort of long-term issue as they're trying to build out this Elgato outpost, but these three monsters keep giving them trouble, so the Royal Knights basically keep seeking out for help, and this is where you, the hunter, come in. So, you know, they're basically confirming that this character is going to be pivotal to the story on the website, but of course, at the end of the day, when it comes to the actual comparisons with Master Atsushi, we're still yet unsure how really comparisons, like how much does that really play out at the end of the day. Atsushi was very pivotal, not only as your teacher basically in Kimura Village, but also in the story at the end of the day, especially when dealing with Narwa and Ibushi. But then this character specifically seems to have some sort of knowledge of what's going on, but ultimately at the end of the day, we're just kind of have to wait and see and find out. I do, at the end of the day, find it interesting that they took them so long for them to actually introduce this character. Even the website didn't necessarily mention him until way later in the day yesterday when they decided to finally update it. So, you know, it was one of those things where like information kept trickling out. The Twitter post came first, and then eventually more information came in afterwards. And it's just interesting that not even in the official trailer they decided to showcase him, and they decided to basically reveal him all the way until now. So it's just fascinating that they're choosing to take that route at the end of the day. But I'm sure that there's more characters that are going to be introduced, and they have to be, because there's more roles that still need to be filled out when it comes to the village. More specifically, are they really going to ditch all the characters from Kimura Village and basically kind of throw them on the wayside and deal with this brand new cast of characters? I wouldn't necessarily believe that they do that. You know, definitely the two sisters are not going to get thrown to the wayside. Presumably they are going to make an appearance in this game story, but for now they're basically not even mentioning them at all. So we'll just have to wait and see and find out. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. If you are brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.